In 1918, a young family with a 2-year-old daughter were returning to their homeland from Iran. On the ship, the girl's father, Kerbalai Jahangir Zeynalov, died. Jahangir Zeynalov was an actor and merchant. He admired the theater and used a large hall in his house for rehearsals, building a stage there. Haji Agha Abbasov, Hussein Arabrinsky, and Badalbey Badalbeyli rehearsed their roles here. Jahangir played an important role in the formation of Azerbaijani realist theater and the Corporation of Muslim Dramatic Actors. Nasiba endured many hardships. Once her father owned a 40-room house. Upon return, she lived in a small room under the attic, from which she was eventually evicted. At the age of 14, to support her family, she took on any job she could. Her mother, Husniya Khanım, married for the second time, but the situation only got worse. In addition to the difficult days, little Nasiba found moments of happiness. She took dance lessons, which eventually helped her find work. Flowered jacket and a long skirt, with a scarf on her head and 2 saucers in her hands, she danced at home in front of the wardrobe's broken mirror to the melody Nelbaki. Shamsi Badalbeyli noticed Nasiba's creativity. Shamsi was the director of Philharmonic Troupe. She met him on the street with words, "Come to the Philharmonic tomorrow. It seems to me that you have great skills. This must be as you are the daughter of Kerbalai Jahangir. Make sure to come." Having barely persuaded her mother, Nasiba went to try her luck at the Philharmonic. In 1937, Nasiba entered Ruzat Ahmasib's drama circle and began her first tour of Azerbaijan. She yearned to grow. She went on to join the Baku Theater School and the State Theater of Musical Comedies troupe. She completed her education at the Azerbaijan Institute of Arts. Nasiba Khanım excelled under the tutelage of prominent mentors, including Alexander Tuganov, Muharrem Hashimov, and Agha Sadık Garabeyli. Clutching crisp bills in her hands, she used to hurry home to hand them to her mother. Nasiba used every day to sharpen her skills. Nasiba Khanım both played in the theater and acted in films. She played in Hajibeyev's classical operettas, including Husband and Wife, Arshin Malalan, and Not That One, So This One. Having a wonderful sense of humor, Nasiba Zeynalova was most successful in comedic roles.
Andır yadımdan çıktı. Ben özümü saxladı, yoksa cin vurdu tepemden. Yoksa ben cini vurdum, yadımda değil.
Her arsenal included Khampari from Dervish Mastari Shah by Mirza Fatali Akhundzadeh, Nargile from Gözün Aydın by Muharrem Alizadeh and Fikret Amirov, Sharaf an-Nisa from Crane by Süleyman Rustam and Said Rustamov, Züleyxa from Ulduz by Sabit Rahman and Süleyman Al-Askarov, and more than 40 other roles. Her depiction of Aunt Jannat from Mother-in-Law by Majid Shamkhalov and Zakir Baghirov became the quintessential image of Azerbaijani mother-in-law.
Benim süpürgemdir. Harda koydum, orada tutturmalıdır.
Quotes from the heroine's monologues are now renowned. Before receiving formal awards, Nasiba won the love of her audiences. She was elected to the Council of People's Deputies 11 times. Perhaps the most extraordinary love story that you will hear happened in the life of Nasiba Khanım. She had worked a lot, but her personal life had not worked out and she still had not experienced the joy of motherhood. When she was 38, Mutallib Novruzov burst into her life like a whirlwind. It was Mirza Babayev who introduced them. Mutallib was an excellent musician who played the kemancha and taught mugham. He was an insanely jealous man. He would watch Nasiba's cheerful laughter in the company of friends. One day, unable to restrain himself any longer, he burst into her dressing room and demanded she explain herself. to her amazement, he suddenly said, "You have no right!" slapped her and then kissed her with passion. Such were the Italian-style passions that played out within the walls of Azerbaijani theater.
Hərdən oğlan qızın qulağına bala bala deyir ki, ağacda alma xal olar, yerə düşər xal xal olar. Oğlan öpər, qızlalı olar, qoy mən olum alma dərən.
Qız nə dedi?
Deyirəm dayına karıxdırma. Bu səfəri qız da altdan yuxarı deyir, ağacda alma xoş olar, yerə düşər mey xoş olar. Oğlan öpər, qız xoş olar, qoy mən olum alma dərən. Bax, başın haqqı belə deyir.
Of course, to modern sensibilities, this is impossible to imagine. But the very fact that Muttalib was undeterred neither by Nasiba's laurels nor the 11-year age difference between them deserves our attention. He was not afraid to demonstrate his feelings and sought the love that was dear to him.
Bilirsiniz, mən ciddi adamam.
Bəli.
Belə samballı adamam mən. Çoxları gəlib qapıya. Rədd etmişim. Demişim, netkinlik.
As a result, they walked the path of life hand in hand and stayed together until the very end. At Muttalib's insistence, Nasiba took his surname as Nasiba Novruzova. However, posters already listed her as Nasiba Zeynalova, a name by then notable and beloved by audiences. Nasiba Khanum was fined for this inconsistency and had to give up her husband's name.
Oğlan Nəcibli, arvad da Nəcibli familyası götürmüşdür.
Nöşün ağı? Xəbər ağam səndən begəm, mənim can ki vurmayacaq, dedim vurmayacaq. Ağı, sənin gül kimi familyon var. Adam eşitəndə tükləri biz olur. Aslanlı. Bu nədir Nəcibli familyasını getirmişsən ağı?
Neyini?
Bu da familya deyil.
Neyini? Başım yerindeydi bəyən. Nə soruşurdular, nə deyiblər? Deyirdim baş üstə. Bəli.
Ağı, adama çox söz deyirlər. Nə söylədi ki, sən baş üstə.
Their only son Jahangir, named after the Nasiba's father, grew up in a loving and strict environment. His mother did not make concessions, wanting him to know all aspects of life.
Yaxşı, bəs demədi qızı olacaq ya oğlu? Oğlu! Qanıram dayına. Bu ya arvad oğlu. Qızdan ötürü bu qədər xət çəkərdi. Nə dərdinə qalır?
Later, Nasiba passed her name on to Jahangir's daughter, going so far as to adopt her as her own daughter. She took the girl with her on tour and was as strict with her as with her son. She did not even let her go to her school's graduation. Alongside her prestigious acting career, Nasiba loved hosting guests and enjoyed cooking elaborate meals for such occasions. However, after the death of her husband, Nasiba became homesick and withdrawn. Her lifelong partner had departed, leaving her to live in a world where she could not be happy without him. She left the theater and spent the rest of her life grieving and missing him. On the March 10th, 2004, she left this world. Her on-screen appearances continue to astound and bring joy to audiences worldwide.